Welcome back to the Sanders Kitchen. I'm Mike, and it took me about 2 weeks to get a home project finished, but I'm back in the kitchen, and look what I have today. We're going to show you crawfish, shrimp, boiled crabs. We're going to show you how to eat it, what it looks like. If you've never eaten any of this type of seafood, you'll see how we do it. One thing that is real popular at the seafood market, not only is the seafood during the Lent time, and of course the fish too, but this is all boiled seafood. The boiled corn, the boiled potatoes, and the boiled garlic. And it's just so good. I'm going to show you how to eat all of it. So let's get started because I'm hungry. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, go ahead and get the veggies out of the way. This is about a half a stick of butter. I'm going to put that in a little measuring cup, and I'm going to go microwave it till it's melted down. And then we'll add a few ingredients. Be right back. It took me 30 seconds to get that half a stick of butter melted. So what I'm going to do is take a little 1/4 teaspoon measuring, and I'm going to put some salt and pepper mixed in there. And I'm also going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of this Zatarain's shrimp and crab oil. And this is powerful stuff, so we just want to go with a little 1/4 teaspoon. And we're going to stir that around a little bit like this. And now I'm going to take my corn, put my corn right in this little corn holder like this. I'll grab a couple of them right here. Like that. Yeah. Man, just pour that mix right over the top, just like that. See that? Oh, yeah. Don't forget, take some of your seafood magic from Paul Prudhomme and just sprinkle it right on there, man. And be liberal. And just go ahead and turn that corn around, just like this. Now, when you get the seasoning on the bottom, put a little bit more on the top. It's not going to hurt anything. Now, I like these little trays. We hardly ever use them, but for corn, that's what it's for. You roll that corn around in that butter and all that seasoning, and here it goes. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, that's so good. Okay, let's go on to the potatoes. Now we're on to the garlic and the potato. So the first thing we have to do is cut our potato in half. All right, you just want to cut your potato up the way you like it. We usually just cut it in half like that. And I'm going to take and cut a few little slits in it like this with my knife. And there's a reason for that, because I want that butter and all the spices to go down into the potato. And now remember, you left over butter and spices. I'm just going to pour some of that on. Like that. There we go. Okay, what I'm going to do is give them a little squeeze. I'm going to squeeze my potatoes a little bit just to kind of open them up a little bit, like that. I'm going to shake my butter around, get a little bit more on there. Oh, yeah. Oh. Now, that's some good potato right there. All them spices. Look at all that butter dripping down my hand. That's the way to eat a potato. Man, Mm-hmm. Now on to the garlic. Now, I like my garlic spicy. Now, some people boil it spicy. They put a lot of spice in it. But when you buy it from a seafood market like we did, they don't over spice it because they have to try to please a lot of people. So I like to put some more seafood magic all over the garlic. Now here's how we do it. Once it's boiled properly for the right amount of time, all you do is give it a little squeeze and you see the garlic start to pop out. And you eat it like that. And you only eat a few in between eating your crawfish and your shrimp and your crabs because it just helps bring out the flavor of your seafood so much. You don't have to eat the whole thing at one time. And if you do, I promise you, you will keep all the mosquitoes away from you that night because you'll be reeking of garlic, and I know mosquitoes don't like that. Anyway, let's get on to showing you how to peel some shrimp. Hey, would you take a few moments and subscribe to the Sanders Kitchen so I don't have to bite you with these pinches? You don't want my crab to come bite you. So take a moment and subscribe. We really appreciate it. We have a nice boiled shrimp, and it's not hot. We bought these earlier today. But what I like to do is, the first thing I'll do is, it's full of liquid, and you can see it's dripping down my finger. So what I like to do is I like to suck the liquid out. That's the first thing I like to do, because all of that delicious crab oil and spices are still all up in the liquid in that shrimp right there. So then I'm just going to pull the head off like that. And I'm going to work on him a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is pull the legs and the first couple of little pieces of shell off. I'm going to give you a little close-up of that. We're just going to reach under and pull the shell right off. You don't have to pull it all the way off because you can pinch it a little bit and give it a pull, and then the meat comes right out like that. Isn't that nice? Now, man, that's good. That is delish. I'm gonna move right on over to the crawfish. Now, the crawfish, what you have to do is put your thumb right at the base of their tail where the shell of the head is. And then you just pull out like that. And there you go. Now, you can pull the first little shell off like that. And when you pinch it, while you grab it with your teeth and you pinch it, and the meat comes right out. That easy. Now, over here on the head, when they boil crawfish, there's a lot of seasoning that gets trapped inside of the shell. And it's so delicious that a lot of people just give it a squeeze like this. And that's called sucking the head, because you want to suck all the good stuff out of the head. So that's how we eat crawfish and shrimp. Let me go on to show you how we eat some boiled crabs. Now this is an interesting thing. Now I'm gonna pull this one out right here. I took a close-up picture because I want you to see that this crab is a female. Now she's got a big wide flap. Now I don't know the whole anatomy of the crab. I'm just telling you that if you see these red and white lines back here, that is a female crab. Now, female crab generally has more fat on the inside. And when people, locals, go and buy crabs, they always say, oh, I want the females. And that's because they like the fat that's on the inside. How do you tell the difference between a male and a female? The male doesn't have this big, wide red and white stripe. Now, the first thing we do when we are about to eat a boiled crab is we take the claws off, okay? And we set those aside because you want to eat those later, okay? And there's a technique to doing that, so I'll show you that in a little while. Now, the first thing that I do is I take my thumb, pull that flap back, and the next thing is you want to grab those legs like this. You'll see that I have the shell here and the legs here, and I'm just going to pull it apart. Now, when you pull it apart, you want to make sure that the shell is on the bottom. And the reason for that is because when you pull it apart, a lot of liquid is in the shell along with the fat. That's the reason why you have to have a butter knife to eat boiled crabs. Now, the first thing we do is we drink the juice. And then the next thing is you reach in there with your butter knife and you scoop out the fat and you eat the fat. Oh my goodness, that's good. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you could take your butter knife and you want to clean off what we call the dead man and these little mouth parts right here. These are like gills, that's what they are. The crab uses those in the water to give it nourishment. Okay. Now, okay, so what you see here is the crab shell's gone and the front part is kind of gone there. And you could see some fat up in there. Now, us Cajun folks, we love to get the fat out and we eat that, okay? Now, all right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna break the crab in half like this. You split it right down the middle. And it doesn't matter what happens. You just take and pull it down the middle, and now you have two halves. And you want to clean it up a little bit more like this. Okay. Now, the next thing you want to do is you can pull the legs off if you want. And you know what? Most people do, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the legs right off. Okay. The next thing is there's these little knuckles right here. You want to take a sharp knife and you want to pull the knuckles off. Okay? Okay, like that. Oh, I know there's a lot of Cajun folks out there going, oh, he's not doing that right. That's not how I do it. You do it the way you want to do it. That's fine. But then you can take this and cut it right in half. Like that. And then with your butter knife, you can get into each of those little shell areas and pull out all of the meat. Can you see that right there? You just get down in there and pull all the meat out. Okay, I can't do that and hold the shell in my hand, but you see how the meat's coming out right there? That's how we eat a crab. Man, I got to tell you, these crabs are so good. You just can hardly stop eating on them. And you know what? You can get those babies open any way you want to. Once you learn how to do it, if you figured out a better way, then go for it. But my late great buddy, Frank Davis, showed me how to eat a crab, and that's the way he did it, and it's pretty much the way my grandmother did it and the way my mother does it. But you can do it any way you like. So today, we're just going to wrap it up. Well, let me say this before we go. The crab has fat in it, and that's the yellow loose part, and then you got the eggs, which is the hard part. And man, we eat all of that. Like that's the egg right there. And it's just so good. On the Friday during Lent, people will go out to Catholic churches, they go to the seafood market, they go to their favorite restaurant, and they just buy all this stuff up, or they'll eat some fried fish and some potato salad. So I hope you enjoyed our seafood. I hope you enjoyed our seafood dinner on the first Friday of Lent. And we will be back with more seafood dishes to show you, so you can stay away from eating beef, which is usually the fast that people down south do during this time of the year. So if you like our video, I'm so sorry about that, but the spice is kind of getting in my throat, and it's a good thing. But if you like our video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to know when we come out with new videos right as they happen, hit the notification bell. Well, have a great weekend. Go get you some seafood, pray a lot, and as I always say, God bless you.